Well, happy Friday, everyone. I'm Dr. Laurie Davis, the host of the Today Show, and coming to you from the Disability Channel. And Friday is fun day. Monday, we do self care. Tuesday, we do finance. Wednesday, we do wellness. Thursday, we do special community, mostly our veterans. But on Friday, I like to just have fun. So today, my fun partner is here with me. Her name is Kimi Modiri. Welcome to the show, Kimi.
Hi, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
No worries, no worries. Well, you're doing some fun stuff. So, this is very appropriate that you're here, and we want to hear all about that. Um, so, uh, I don't know what happened there. We had a little glitch. Anyway, welcome back.
Thank you.
So, today we're going to talk about you and your project, and it's very exciting. I've really never met anybody that's in person that's actually doing what you're doing. And
Oh,
I am a big movie buff. I mean, I've watched movies my whole life. It wouldn't be anything for me to rent back in the day 10 movies for the weekend and just veg and watch films. And I'm a celebrity buff. I know everything about all the celebrities. So, but you're a celebrity and you just don't know it yet, I
oh,
think.
thank you. I appreciate that. Put that manifestation out. I would love that.
Oh, yes. So everybody better pay attention to this name because this
Aw.
lady has just written a script, has a what did we call that? A pitch deck all prepared. Um, Producer, writer, like, are you in the movie at all?
No, one
No.
thing I can do was act. We got professionals for that, but maybe one day we never know.
That's right. That's right. So tell us a little bit first about your studies, what you're doing in New York. You're in New York, and what you've been studying there.
Yeah, so I go to New York University. I'm studying basically around the realm of film and finance, primarily in film. I'm studying like more the script writing, and then in finance, I'm studying more the accounting. So right now I'm applying for my master's in accounting. But yeah, that's really it.
Why is that an important combination?
Because the entertainment industry is just business. It's just numbers, business lawsuits that require royalties to a T of every cent. And it is so, and like you want to know the numbers and the business side. So A, people don't take advantage of you and your creativity. B, you know how to make the money work for yourself and just see like it's good to just understand the revenue because like it's just all about revenue, expenses, and all of that besides the lawsuits, royalties, and residuals and all of that. But yeah, it's just a business. People don't want to do the numbers side normally there, so I would love to do the numbers side one day. But yeah, it's a good asset to have to know the business side.
Yeah, so and that leads me to realizing how many, because recently I've been doing a lot of interviews with athletes, professional athletes,
Yeah.
and how many of them have left their career after making umpteen millions of dollars and have no idea where their money went. And how many celebrities have suffered at the hands of a poor manager,
Oh my God, yeah.
right?
Mhm.
So this is brilliant of you, I think.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's a cutthroat industry, so it's good to be a double-edged sword.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
This is Kathy Bell. Kathy Bell is part of our team here at the Disability Channel, and she
Oh,
does a lot of the editing and the behind the scenes kind of stuff, and she rarely misses a show.
oh wow.
She's
Okay.
always here live, yes, watching us live. And I should mention right now too, Kimmy, that we're streaming live on my Facebook page, Laurie Davis Facebook page, my two YouTube channels,
Yeah.
and a couple of our shows every week go down south of the border to the U.S. and were published on your home TV. So our platform has expanded since you were on the show the last time. And so a lot more people will be seeing the show. And of course, people can go in after hours and get it on YouTube in the archives, So, yeah, plus live here. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. But that's awesome. No, I'm so happy for you. Like that's
oh,
great. I'm
thanks.
so happy that you're expanding. That's
Oh,
amazing.
yeah. So now we have 7 shows a week. So I
Oh,
do five Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then I do a sports show with former NHLer Doug Smith called the Press Box on Tuesdays, and then Dr. Ramin Modiri, you might know who he is. Um,
yeah.
he and I do a show on Fridays. So yeah, so it's been a lot of fun. So
Yeah.
back to you now, your pitch deck. I had the opportunity to look at that, and it's so cute.
Thank
So
you.
why don't you just start with sharing a bit about the storyline of your movie that you're working on, and then we're going to talk about the challenges attached to that. So let's first of all just share with our viewers what's the movie called and what's it about. Are you allowed to share that?
Yes, yes. So it's a short film called Adira Dear, and it's about a girl named Adira, and she's the daughter of a drug addict named Valentina, and she's trying to escape the fate of her mother. So basically, it's about like more like Valentina, the mother. She does have like a drug problem, and it's really affected Adira. And so she gets a call from her cousin to move out with her to New York City. And so it's just really up to her if she wants to stay or to leave. And so, yeah, it's a psychological thriller and horror. But yeah, that's about it.
And the the storyline is about her challenges trying to escape. Is that what it's like? You mean?
Yeah, it's a lot of it's a lot of sacrifice. It's a lot of isolation, a lot of addiction, a lot of
Mhm.
it's just a lot of those haunting feelings are very
Mhm.
involved, and I think that's what really makes it a psychological like horror and thriller. Because even though you're not getting jump scares, there's only one gory scene, and that's just.
Yeah.
But even though it's just more the disturbingness,
Yes.
being uncomfortable, that's really behind this. And I think that's what really pieces it together in those three themes I just said, and also it being a horror, you know,
Mhm. Mhm.
psychologically. So, yeah.
Mhm. Mhm. Cool. So, if let's say if somebody had an idea for a movie
Yeah.
and they gave you the idea, um, then you actually could create a pitch deck for that person probably.
Yeah. Yeah. We are
So
taught, yeah.
you learn how to do that.
So kind of. I was looking through like I took a producing for film class, and it was taught by the producer who produced Beyonce's movie Cadillac Records, which is like the autobiography, or like is of not autobiography, but it's like the biography of Etta James. And she taught that class, and she really like honed in on like how to properly make a pitch deck for like corporate or for studio. And it's just really selling the world that you are creating and the feelings. The synopsis is very important too, but I think people just want to see the potential of where this could go, and just the overarching mood, the tone, the feel, a sense of the characters, because that's just the skeleton
Mhm.
of like the story that you're creating, and they just kind of want to see that. They want to also see how they can relate to it, if this is going to get an ROI, like all of those kind of business things, but also like some sort of connecting appeal.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I certainly when I looked at your pitch deck, I was left feeling I want to know more.
Oh, thank you.
So that's a good thing, isn't it? Like that's what that should do, right? It's like, whoa, no, I really connected with it. So yeah,
I
I have
appreciate that a lot. Thank you.
no, it's true. It's true, and I have a few ideas for movies too, based on some things that personally happened to me in my life. So that I know would be, well, one would be a political thriller. Yes.
If you need help, I'm always here.
Oh,
If you need,
wow. Like,
I got
yeah,
you.
we could
Yeah.
put a we could put a series together probably.
Oh,
So,
I would love to help. Yes.
oh
Yes.
wow. So let's talk a little bit about. So you had your idea, and what are some things that you need now? You've got your pitch deck ready. So now you need money. Is that what one of the things? But before we get to the money part, what are some things that you need in order to bring that movie to life? So what are some people you have to hire? Who do you have to connect with? So tell me some of the things that you need to have in place.
Right. So the biggest things that we really need for this production is that we have a phenomenal cast and crew, like talent all over the place. I could not be more than grateful to have such an amazing talent and crew. Location is a big one because the script is very setting heavy. Like the setting is its own character. Um, and then also post production because we do have a composer who wants to make an original score, and obviously for anything horror, it's mostly the sound that gets, that creates that anticipation,
Mm,
anxiety. And then, of course, we do have lighting. Lighting is a huge factor in this because the visuals are a big part. I'm a huge visual person. Like I love visuals, so lighting. I have to feed my cast and crew. So there's that. And then, of course, transportation because I have to move all the equipment because we have to go back and forth between locations. Um, you know, and just kind of like, and then production design. Because as I said, like, it's like we have to make the location like it's a dear and Valentina's world, so you have to kind of do a lot of moving around for that. So it's just
mhm.
it's a lot of those factors that really come into play when it comes to budgeting. So
Right. Well, I don't think that people actually have any idea how behind the scenes, how much work is involved
yeah.
in creating anything like that. It's, we get to enjoy it when it hits the screen without realizing the kinds of work that went on behind it to make it happen, right?
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
A lot.
So, so let's just kind of uh, pop the glass ceiling, so to speak, and if you had an ideal amount of money, what amount of money would it take to put your film out there? Do you have any idea about that?
Like how much I would like
Like,
what my
let's
budget
say,
would be?
yeah, like let's say the sky was the limit, and you could have whatever amount of money you wanted to put that film out there. What
Okay.
kind of money would we be looking at?
Honestly, like probably like 10 grand.
Oh
Um,
wow!
you know, just because it's also New York, so like everything is like triple the price of what it actually
Right,
should be.
right.
And I would do so much. Like I think there was a house that I found and it was in Brooklyn that I would rent. But honestly, like there have been houses that I found in Connecticut that I found in the middle of nowhere in Jersey that are just like the perfect place for what I dreamed of the location being. And it's like I have to rent cars for that. I would have to pay for the location both days. And I would love to pay my composer like a lot more. Um, because we're just it's more on it's per minute. So like I would
Oh,
pay
okay.
her probably like the whole 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And I would just love to spoil my cast and crew. Like I think
Right.
I would just I like if like I would like probably like a full buffet or
Yeah.
like because they're doing so much, and also like for lenses too. Lenses are so expensive. If I could just in production design, if I could just have all these like cool like and then also applying to like film festivals too, like just kind of marketing it kind of out there too.
Hmm.
I honestly like I think 10K would be my maximum, but that would be some people might say it's too much, but I'm like it's New York. So like
Well, I don't think
you
that's
never
very much at
know.
all. That's not much at all.
I mean,
It's compared to what, like people pay 50, 60 grand to buy a truck, you know?
it's
Yeah.
insane. But yeah, like I just it's a script that I really do believe in and that I really do love, and it's not even required for a class, and I would love to bring this to life, and a lot of people have come on board because they also see the vision, and it's such a great team that I have and that we all fully believe in. So it's just like if I could get that
Yeah.
money to just really bring actually at this point like our vision to life, like I would like be over the moon. But
That sounds amazing.
thank you.
Yeah, we'll try. We're going to work on that. Um, oh, Kathy says, because Kathy knows your dad, so she says, will Kimmy be dabbling in the stock market?
Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
I will. I mean, entertainment is now just a shareholder industry at this point. So I'm gonna be up there. Like
Right,
I'm gonna be
right.
so.
Exactly. Well, we're going to take a little break, about 30 seconds. And, we are also, too, looking for sponsors and advertisers. And we have platforms now that are pretty appealing and got a heck of a deal for people. And so a lot of people go, well, 30 seconds. What could I say in 30 seconds? Well, you can say a lot in 30 seconds. Just give it a go here while we play our little snowflakes flying up into the sky.
The day is set. Join us October 12th, 2024 at Kerrigan Arms for our next fundraiser in honor of veterans, the Invictus Games in British Columbia, Canada, and TDC Employment Program Enrollment. For more information, email us at info@thedisabilitychannel.ca. Introducing Veteran House Alliance International Monthly 50/50 Raffle. Purchase your ticket today, link on display, and have a chance to win cash and help a great platform supporting veterans.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Dr. Laurie Davis on the Today Show, and it's Fun Friday, and I have a very fun person with me today, Kimi Modiri. And Kimmy, what I was thinking during the 30 seconds, I usually think about something that I want to talk about. And I was thinking, I think it's really honorable, I guess is the only word I could use, to have a young woman like yourself willing to do the hard time, so to speak. Nothing is just being handed to you. You've had to work really hard, and you're going to continue to work hard. That's why I know you're going to be successful, because if you look at people who have made a name for themselves, like I think of Sylvester Stallone, okay, in Rocky. He wrote the script for that film, the very first one, and he took it to the studio and he submitted it, and he said, I want to be the star of that movie. And they said, well, there's no way you're going to be starring in your movie. I'm sorry. We love the storyline. And they offered him 20 grand for the script. This was way back in the day.
Yeah.
And he turned it down. And at that time, he had $125 in the bank. And he was, I think, washing dishes somewhere. So then they called him and they said, we'll give you 50 grand for the script. And I believe they wanted, I'm not sure if it was Robert Redford or I believe somebody like that to star in the film. And he said, no, I'm starring in the film or you don't get the script.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they kept calling him and calling him, and they put it up to 350 grand, I think it was, he finally got for it. And he did get to star in the film, but they only paid him the minimum wage at that time for actors.
Oh my God.
Now, we know the outcome of that first film, Rocky. I mean, he has made billions of dollars for those studios,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? With the Expendables and Rambo and so that's you. That's
Really?
what's going to happen to you.
Oh, thank you. That really means a lot. Thank you so
Well,
much.
no, seriously. Because if somebody just handed you that 10 grand and said, "Hey, go make a movie." You see, the one of my quotes that I've made up is um, money doesn't generate great ideas.
Yeah.
It's great ideas that generate money,
Very valid. Very valid.
right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
you have a great idea, and that the money's going to show up very shortly. See, but because of the struggle, like that's what I admire about you. A lot of people would just say, well, I can't afford it, and it's an idea. And I mean, what happens when people have a great idea? What do they do with it?
Well, I mean, it depends who you're asking. I mean, I don't know. I think it's just how much you believe in that idea. Some people
Yeah,
think it's too hard and throw it away, and other people they believe in it so much they go with it to the top.
hmm hmm
So I don't
yeah.
know.
Well, most people, when they get a great idea, they go, I don't have the money for that, or oh, gee, if that was such a great idea, somebody would have already done it. Um, and then, how many times have we heard people say, I thought of that. Now it's on television and you order it for a 1-800 number and that guy's making $1 million. And I thought of that 10 years ago.
Yes, yes.
Right?
I mean, no one is going to come and save you. Like, when people are like, oh, like if someone would have done this and I'm like, no, it's like, I think people don't realize how much control they have, you know? Like, no investor is gonna like knock on your door and read your mind and be like, this is a great idea. Like, they're gonna mostly invest in how much you believe in the product or whatever
Absolutely.
you're selling. And it's like, people can tell when you're not that confident in something that you believe in, and they don't want to invest in that because they know you're gonna scrap it anyway. So,
Right. Right.
like, as just be like confident in what you have, and it's going to come to you because you believe in it so much.
hmm
Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Kathy has a question for you. I'll put it
yeah.
up. hmm
So the film is going to be about 10 minutes.
hmm Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That would be easy to watch, wouldn't it?
Yes. Yes. And it's all like, it's just, a lot of work just even just goes into 10 minutes. I can't even believe how much work goes into a 120-minute movie, That's crazy. That's crazy. Oh my God. No.
And Kathy says, "Can you make it longer?" And I'm going to say to Kathy, "Yeah, send her a check for 10 grand, and she'll think about that." Kathy. Kathy says, "Can you make it longer?" Yeah, we could, but we're just talking about the costs and what's attached and the work, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That would, thank you.
That's cute.
That would be great.
So you've made other little clips, though, haven't you? Have you
Yeah.
produced
So,
other little clips?
right. The first one that I did do was called the Javods, and that was directed by my friend Nicholas and then produced by my friend Kyle. That one is still in post production. It is still not finished yet, because our editor is in Madrid right now. Um, so that couldn't be finished, but
Mhm.
it's on its way.
Good.
And then I've also done like an interactive game with my friend Harry. He's a really big computer science guy. So I wrote the script for the game and he just like brought it to life and we just filmed it. I was the one behind the camera and he was just directing it. And we just got our friends together and we just made like, you got to choose like the outcome, like truth or dare, and it chose like the outcome.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's what we've done too. And then over the summer, I helped my friend Kyle produce his short. Not yet. So, and that was really fun. It was great. And yeah, I've just been on other sets too, just helping around, mostly in sound. But yeah,
Mhm.
that's about it.
Cool. Well, that's a big story for 10 minutes, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. It's. I really had to pick and choose what I wanted to put. I'm a very big like. I'm a one and done. Like I really want something short, but it gets to all the points. Like I don't like to waste anything.
Right.
So I like that. Like it's just 10 minutes. And if it's, I don't think the minutes matter. I think it's just what you feel after. So if I can do something like simple, but kind of embellish it with all these different themes and tones within 10 minutes, I think that would be stronger than something a lot more complicated in 20 minutes. So,
Yeah, I love that idea. I never really like I've done shows that are 20 minutes,
mhm.
interviews that are like 20 minutes.
Yeah,
And you're right, when you have an hour like we do here today, you can mess around and but those 20-minute interviews I had to get right to the point.
right, right. We're in a very like instant generation where they just want
Yes.
things within like 30 seconds.
Mhm.
And like unfortunately I'm becoming like that too. I'm just like, so I'm just kind of so it's like how do you shorten, and like movies these days are becoming like 2.5 hours long, and like I'm just kind of like, no one is, even if it's like the great, like I think honestly the last movie I sat through that was about 2 hours or more long was Oppenheimer, but every other movie, like I have gone to the bathroom for 20 minutes because I'm like, I can't sit through this.
Yeah.
And there are parts in the movie that I'm like, that could have been cut out, that could have been cut out, and it could have been like,
Oh, yeah.
you know,
Well, that would be difficult for you, especially because you're in the industry. It's kind of like a hairstylist. My hairdresser goes down. She said when she goes out shopping and whatever, she's looking at people and she's thinking, boy, if I could just have that head of hair for a half an hour, I could make that person even better, right? So,
right,
yeah, so when you're watching those films, you're probably seeing all the flaws and the production errors. And I know I've seen production errors, and I'm not even in the business, right?
right,
Like what they forgot to change their shirt or whatever's going on.
right.
So, yeah, wow, great. Can't wait to see this. So now you're giving me some ideas. So, so let's talk about you need money. You need about 10 grand to get this thing out the door. And what kind of people invest in films? What's the profile look like?
Honestly, that's a very, very good question. Personally, from I like it's like we want to target more like investors, like people that like we know like have invested in movies before and they're known in the industry. Like that is the target. But generally it's like I've talked to some people that are in like investment banking, or they're like the executive of Goldman Sachs, or and it's like they are a bit more hesitant in investing because they know the risks, they want that ROI, they know how expensive it could be. But it's like those types of people would be the, in my eyes, like the ideal, because since there are more variety of them, if I could just like maybe get like 20 grand from each or something, if I'm making $1 million movie,
Right.
like it's just it's people just say to target more investors that are known in investing in movies, and you have to do like a lot of research on that, like
Right.
who was the executive producer of this, and it's like, or mostly distributors will be the one behind like funding a film too, but they take more of um, the income. at that point.
Right.
Like there's this
Right.
like whole back end circle too, which is like the net income and how that's distributed among everyone. And it's normally like normally like investors would get like 33% like equity or something, and it's like
Okay.
it's all of that. It's
Well, that's why you're doing the finance
yeah.
piece, right? You
Right,
can, well, the thing is, though, you see, you'll have that savvy about you that'll make you unique in the industry, because there's not very many people that I would say in the industry who are taking the path that you're taking, and not only being the filmmaker, but the financial expert at the same time. That's just amazing.
Thank you.
I think that's amazing.
Thank you. No,
I think that's very smart of you. Very smart.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. It's actually something I really do enjoy doing. Like I love looking at numbers and calculating and just
Gee, I don't know where you got that. Just saying.
very true.
Not sure where you got that gift, right?
Be a power team,
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Definitely. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, too, because there's lots of potential for you in like there are a lot of people right now, for example, who are busy working on books.
Yeah.
Getting your book out there is now like a big deal. If you've got a book out there, then you're a somebody kind of thing. But I know that there are many fascinating stories that could be done in those 10-minute clips.
Very true.
Totally. Like even people that I'm busy interviewing, they have a movie. People say, "Well, there's a book inside of you." No, I think there's a movie inside of me. Probably 4 or 5 of them.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Right?
We welcome you to advertise and promote your goods and services, and or brand your logo to 34 million subscribers on Canada Talks 167. Your investment will go towards our employment programs in the media industry for persons with disabilities and veterans.
I agree. I think the biggest thing that I have learned in my screenwriting classes is that less is more.
Yes.
Especially writing dialogue. Because they're very I feel like when people first start writing, they like to write a lot because they're like, oh, I need the audience to know that I'm saying this. And they really teach you that less is more. If your character were to say 4 words, but those 4 words were to mean something as strong as the 20 words that you were putting, then you're saving 1/5 of a line, and it comes across more powerful. And so I think that's something that I've learned, that I'm like, oh, less is more. So shorter clips, I feel could be a lot more than something that's 20 to 30 minutes. So, and I save money. So,
Well, yeah.
yeah.
But I believe you're onto something there as well, because of our lifestyles, and like you said, you're not going to sit through a 3-hour movie if it's you're bored for half of it. So yeah, and of course in the broadcasting industry, we call those sound bites. Just taking, and I teach that to a lot of my clients who have to do presentations and meetings, to talk less and say more.
Right. Exactly.
Yes.
Talk less, say more. Exactly. I don't know. There's certain people I've met, and it's they only say something when they mean it, but even when they do say it, it's literally less than a sentence, and it just goes across so much more, and it cuts our conversation in half, and I get so much more out of that conversation than I would talking for 2 hours.
Yes, that's right.
I don't know, a lot of people I've met are like that, and that's something I really do admire. To just, it's not even just cutting to the chase. It's they know how to articulate their words to say so much more without needing to say a lot, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. For sure. So, what about, let's talk a little bit about costumes because I'm always interested in, I always look to see who was the costume designer at the end of a movie. How are you, or what are your goals in that department for your movie? Do you have someone, or are they part of your team, or what kind of clothing are they going to be wearing?
Yeah, I was going to be the one behind the costumes, just because like I know how to sew and like I don't know, I really wanted I think when there was a script that I wrote and it was about like a fashion designer and we were going to make it into a short, like a proof of concept. But that just kind of like it fell through a bit just because it was very expensive. Um, but yeah, so like I was just going to be the one. I think we're going to go for something a lot more simpler so you can really because it's going to be more makeup heavy. I feel like you look at the sunkenness of their face or the tiredness in their eyes and like the emptiness, the mania. Like I'm a huge person just like reading a person's face with like very simple clothes. I feel like very like staid colors, like a white, a decaying blue, a decaying yellow, a black, like very simple, um, but like vintagey kind of spooky colors, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very like I love like the focus is going to be just like very on their face. Um, I don't know. Like I'm a like just like
Wow.
reading eyes. Like we have a lot of like close up shots too, very distorted close up shots. Which yeah, I'm a huge like when I write, I like to write about like a person's eyes. Like I feel like that just says a lot
Mm-hmm.
more than anything. But yeah, that's what we're kind of looking for.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Costume.
fun. Fun, fun, fun.
Yeah.
Well, this is Fun Friday, so I hope everybody that's watching, we've got a few people watching right now live. They're here. And today my guest is Kimi Modiri, and filmmaker, producer, writer, finance guru,
Thank
name it. Who wouldn't invest in you? You'd have to be crazy not to. Seriously.
you.
And
Thank you
because
so much.
everybody has to start somewhere, and you've started. You've already started. You're 22, and you've already started. Isn't that cool?
I
You're not going to wait till you're 40 to do to do something that you really. No, you've been busy.
I'm
Yeah.
never gonna never wait for anything. Just do it. I don't know. I'm a firm believer in that. So
Yeah. And you know what? You've sacrificed a lot. You've had to be away from home. You've it costs money to go to school. I mean, it's been a big project leading up to.
yeah, yeah, but it's worth it. It's the higher the risk, the higher the outcome. Or income in finance terms. But like, I don't know. I know it's going to be all worth it. I know it's going to be like a huge lesson, or it's going to be like it's going to it's not a waste for sure. So
No, because no, no.
I'm very
Be-
excited.
yeah, and you'll just each one will get better and better and better, more efficient, more. You'll know those ropes. Just having that experience to put that together.
Right,
That
right.
takes a lot of courage. I'm sorry. I'm just telling you the way it is. It's true.
Thank
It's
you.
true. Yeah.
I
And
appreciate that.
so let's see. So now we need to find some ways to raise money for your film,
Yes.
and that's something that we could work on. Um, so what else? The tell us a bit about the ideal location for the film. When you were looking at these places, what made them special, or what made them the great place?
Yeah.
What
There
what are you
was
looking for?
there was a house over in like deep in Brooklyn, and I just like went into it, and it was everything that I was envisioning when I was writing. And it was just so perfect. Like it was perfect. I loved the owner of the house too. She was very like on top of like I, also the people that own it, like you kind of want to meet them to be like, are they going to sue me? Are they going to send me extra charges? She was so on top of it, very efficient, very kind. Her house was just everything that I wanted. Like the production design, even in there, not even the production design inside the house, the interior was beautiful. It was the decaying wallpaper I wanted, the kind of like vintage looking chairs. It was just so, and there were like curtains, and I was like, oh my God, if I had all the money in the world, like I don't care. Like I would just put the money down. And like, obviously she requires production insurance, of course. And I was like, yeah, I don't care. Like I would do, like, if you needed me to hire cleaners or something after, I would. Like it was just something so perfect. And it was just everything I just wanted. And I was showing everyone, and everyone was like, oh my God, like, yes, this was what I was envisioning too when I was reading your script. And just to have like that kind of consensus
Yes.
means so much, because we all see that vision. And I'm just like, I'm a huge team player. So it's just like, I don't know. It was just everything I wanted. So,
Yeah.
and there were black
So,
cats everywhere. Sorry.
no, that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. That sounds amazing. So, mhm. Yeah, it's hard to find sometimes, the perfect place, but they're out there. They're out there. So let's envision this. Let's put this out there to the universe that it's already done. What's your next one going to be like?
That one. So right now, I'm getting my capstone. So I'm concentrating more in screenwriting. So there are three types of like writing programs that we have in the
Okay.
dramatic writing field. So we have playwriting, episodic writing, which is like TV writing, and then screenwriting, which is more like film writing. And I'm getting my capstone in like film writing, like writing for a film. And so right now I'm actually writing a different one, and it's that one is more a thriller. It's like a murder mystery, detective, undercover journalist, but you kind of question, if you can rely on her or not. Like you're kind of being the detective yourself to her, as she's trying to figure out what's going on. So that one is going to be max 120 pages. But I want to shoot a proof of concept for that, which would most likely happen in the spring. So that's what I'm kind of looking at right now as my next one. So, yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. What was that term you just used? I didn't know what that meant. Proof of.
Oh, proof of concept. Yeah. So, let's say that like you want to. So, like, let's say you have a film, right? You have an idea for a film. It's 120 minutes, and you are like, I don't have the money for this, but I do have the money for about 20 minutes of this. So you shoot a proof of concept, which is kind of like a mini version, or just kind of like a scene, or just something that kind of gives the people at a film festival, an investor, a studio, just kind of an idea of what the film is about, but within 20 minutes or less, like Whiplash. Have you ever seen that?
No.
Whiplash by Darren Aronofsky. That movie started off as a proof of concept at a film festival, and then it got funding for it to be like a longer movie, an over an hour movie. So that is just kind of what a proof of concept is. I don't like, if I were to make this 120 minutes, that we would be looking over $1 million.
Right.
So I would just be doing like a proof of concept for like about 20 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good to know. That's good to know that you can do that. Yeah. Wow. Wow. My first husband has been missing since 1986.
Oh, wow.
How about that for a film? He's been on a missing persons list for 40 years.
Oh my God. I'm so
Yes, and he
sorry.
spent 2.5 years in a mental institution before that. It was like, are you familiar with the old movie with Jack Nicholson, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Well, we could write that rewrite that film because I had that experience. He was in an institution for 2.5 years after 2 suicide attempts in a week. And then when he finally got out 2.5 years later, he disappeared. And the body's never been recovered. That's my first husband. He was like my childhood friend, childhood sweetheart, that kind of guy. So there's a film, isn't it? What happened?
Yeah.
We don't
I'm
know.
so sorry.
No, that's okay. It's a long time ago. And it was tragic at the time. And it still is tragic, but at the same time, I often think about that. And that's a great movie.
Yeah.
That really happened.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah. He was only 34. 34, I guess, yes. Hmm.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was very sad, very serious stuff. That's just one of my movies. I have probably 5 more.
Wow.
They would be bestseller. One is
Understatement. 5 is definitely an understatement. I think you're
one.
selling yourself short
Yeah.
with 5,
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
People said, you should be writing books. I said, no, I don't want to write a book. I want this stuff on film. Right.
Yeah, honestly, like if you ever want to
Oh,
make anything come to life, I would love to help. That's
well, I know. But we're not asking you to do it for free. That's the thing. You see.
thank
Can't
you.
work for free. No. All right. Well, if there's anything else, let's see. What else should we talk about? So when you're not, okay, let's do this. When you're not writing scripts and you're not putting movies together and you're not studying, what does Kimi do for fun? Because this is Fun Friday. So what do you like to do for fun?
That's a good question. Honestly, like I feel like oh my God, I don't even know. Like I feel like I feel like I'm always having fun. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I'm always like no matter what, like I find enjoyment in accounting. Like I think it's super cool. Like I just love to, but I also love writing. Like I love what I'm studying. Like I think that's super fun. I love hanging out with my friends. I honestly think that like I would love to travel. Traveling a something I also just go to Coney Island sometimes and I just kind of sit there and I just I have my fun there. I think even just like walking at night in New York is so fun. Um,
Mm-hmm.
or I love to dance. Like dancing is super fun too.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know. Like I'm always having fun. Like I
That's
think
good. That's a good thing.
ever, and I'm still
Well,
having fun.
yeah.
So
Exactly.
yeah.
Well, I'm from the East Coast of Canada. I live in the
Yeah.
West now, but I'm from Nova Scotia. So my family, we had relatives in Boston. My dad had aunties and uncles in Boston. So that would be our trips. We would go leave Nova Scotia and drive down to Boston, go to New York. I love New York. I've been there a number of times. Yes. And, but that's a wonderful place for movie making too, Nova Scotia, because there are a lot of old Victorian haunted mansions and you've got the sea and the rocks and the fog, there's lots of films have been actually made there. And also here in Alberta as well, if people who wanted to do like when they filmed the Jesse James story, that was filmed here with Brad Pitt here in the West Canada. So a lot of filmmakers are coming to Canada because it's less expensive.
Right.
And when you consider the currency exchange, you're getting more for your dollar because it's because of the currency. So there's a lot of movie making going on in Canada right now, especially Toronto as well. Mhm.
Toronto is up and coming. Yes.
Yes, I've heard.
It's like a lot of people I know are just like moving there, or like Toronto's just becoming a new big scene, even for music, for film. I think it's also because the government also gives out money towards the arts. We don't really have that in the US. Like we have, like, even when I was trying to go get my production insurance, like, yeah, like there was like a government site and stuff, but it was so complicated. The tax credits here, I mean, the thing is because like they will give you tax credit because they see a film as a business here. So like if you like, so you can get like a lot of tax deductions and stuff. So that's why it's great to film in the US.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
man, like just like, yeah, Toronto is up and coming and Canada's just beautiful to begin with, you know.
Mhm.
I don't
Mhm.
know what the tax credit is there, but like it's just such a beautiful place. And yeah, I wanted to ask, what do you do for fun?
What do I do for fun? I
Yeah.
watch movies.
Oh my god, period.
I watch movies. I love to. I have a very nice camera, and I love photography.
Yes.
Uh, scenery. I don't do people, but scenery or whatever. And I love to cook,
Mm,
and I cook every day. My kitchen is my happy place.
I love that.
Yeah, and I love my business. I'm like you. I'm having fun right now, and
Yeah,
I've got some things to do later, and I'm going to have fun doing that. Um, and I love meeting new people. I'm a
yeah.
social butterfly that way. So even when I was little, um, my grandmother used to take me everywhere, even when I was like a little kid,
Mhm.
whether if it was a funeral in the community or a baby shower or some kind of gathering. And she later on, later years, she told me I was only 5 and she wanted to take me somewhere. And I asked her this question: will they be serving refreshments? She thought that was a very big word for a little girl.
Wow.
And she said, "Oh, yes." And I said, "Well, I'll go then."
Oh,
But because I could go into a room and people would be wanting to talk to me, like even as a kid,
yeah.
especially if it was a sad occasion or whatever. So yeah, helping others, I love to do that. And I met a very beautiful woman in Seattle. I lived in Seattle for a year in the early 90s, and I met this woman at a breakfast networking meeting, and we became friends. And I asked her, "What do you do?" And she said, "What do you need? Because that will be my next assignment."
Oh my god.
I know. And I said, "Well, I'm new in town and I don't know anybody." She said, "We'll fix that." She
Wow.
said, "I'll take you to my Rotary luncheon tomorrow, the largest Rotary club in America. 700 people gather for lunch every Wednesday,
Holy moly.
all business people. And the next day, they had special tables for featured. And this particular week, it was anybody who owned a motorcycle, and we did. We actually went out there on our motorcycle, so across country.
That's so cool.
I know, from
That's a
Halifax to
movie
Seattle.
itself. That's another movie itself. That's what I'm saying.
Oh
It's such an understatement. Like,
So anyway, she said, "Well, we should put you up here at the special table because you just came across the country on a motorcycle." I said, "Yes, I did." So the next day, they had taken up, the press was there. They took a picture, and here I am on the front page of the Seattle newspaper.
oh my god.
Rotary Club features motorcyclist who just came across the country. Blah 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 blah.
Wow. No, that's so cool. See, like I just feel like people are just naturally drawn to you and like they just see your spark and they just, that's
Thanks.
so cool. No, that's like that's incredible. Like you got to put your movie out then, If that's
Yeah.
like you appearing in Seattle out of the blue one day and just like a turn of events within 24 hours, like
Hmm.
who
Hmm.
knows what this film could do,
Yeah.
That's
But
incredible.
that was her business. That's what she would say to people. What do you need? That was her business. I know.
God.
She built a business out of that.
Good for her,
I
honestly.
know. I know.
Wow.
Wow, I know. Well, our time is just about up. I mean, we could talk for hours, but we could do it again another day.
Yeah.
So we're just going to say goodbye to everybody. And Kimmy, thank you so much for coming on the air with me today and making it my fun Friday.
Oh.
I, I loved it, and I can't wait to hear more.
Well,
Anything else?
yeah, I
Words
just
of-
want to say thank you so much for like having me here. I really appreciate it. Like for letting me talk for an hour about this and about myself. I
Yeah.
really, really appreciate it because like this film means a lot to me.
Mhm.
And I really appreciate you also like supporting me on this because like any sort of support is incredible. Thank you for making this super fun too and asking like really awesome questions. I really appreciate it. So
No, you're welcome.
thank you again.
You're welcome. All right. Well, we'll say goodbye for the weekend. Everybody have a great, safe weekend. Have some fun. It's going to be beautiful here. The leaves are all turning now, and it's just gorgeous. And probably, I don't know if they're turning yet in New York, but they're so beautiful on the East Coast, the leaves in the fall.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Mhm.
And we'll be back on Monday with my co host, Virginia Clark, and we'll be talking self help, self improvement, self care. It's just all about us on Monday. Okay. Bye for now.
Bye.
If you never sipped a Coke from a cold glass bottle, drank water from a garden hose. If you're an addict for AM static, craving that country gold. If you never, ever wrote a love letter or used a phone with a dial, let me say a little personal touch never goes out of style. I might not play as fast as you, but I'm still having a ball. You just need some time to catch up to me, that's all. Let me bring you up to speed on cool. I can tell you're new to old school. My truck's got cranked down windows, AC, 'cause I'm into stuff that works. And I still bring my old King James with me to church. My favorite kind of pie is moon. My favorite sound is twang. Even though we're worlds apart, it's okay, we can hang. I might not play as fast as you, but I'm still having a ball. You just need some time to catch up to me, that's all. Let me bring you up to speed on cool. I can tell you're new to old school. Boys turn into their daddies, girls turn into their mothers. Won't be long till you'll be saying age is just a number. I might not play as fast as you, but I'm still having a ball. You just need some time to catch up to me, that's all. Let me bring you up to speed on cool. I can tell you're new to old school. You're new to old school.